Stop wasting money on bad clones. Today I'm going to be ranking 10 brand new highly hyped clone fragrances. And this list is not going to go the way you think. So I bought all these clone fragrances with my own money. I wore them and I tested them to see how good they actually smell, not how hyped they were. If you disagree, that's fair. Drop your rankings down in the comments. With that said, let's start at the bottom. So coming in last place, and a fragrance that I wish I hadn't spent my hard-earned money on, this is Armaf's Blue Sky. And this is a clone of Bond No. 9's Scent of Peace for Him. And I'm not sure if I've ever smelled that original fragrance. So this one has great reviews online and I've only heard good things. But let me be the first negative voice. For me, this is boring, it's weak, synthetic, and it doesn't project all that well. I just don't really like the way it smells. Something's a little bit off for me in this fragrance. Now it's not terrible, it has that blue, clean shower gel type of smell to it, but it's just not something I'm ever gonna wear, until it's time to review it again. Blue Sky opens with a bright, vibrant burst of citrus and juicy pineapple. The dry down is a smooth, refined blend of creamy vanilla and broxin and warm tobacco. And to me, those notes make this fragrance sound more interesting than it actually is. Very generic. For me, this one has very little personality. It's supposed to smell like the scent of peace, but you'll end up smelling like an NPC. Let's just move this right over here. At number 9, we have Armaf's Infinity Silver. And this is a very nice clone of YSL's L'Homme Ultime, which is a discontinued fragrance. So I picked up this fragrance specifically for this video, and I had really high hopes. Now the fact that it's so low on the list is not because it's a bad fragrance, it's more of a reflection of how good the rest of the fragrances on this list actually are. This one actually smells really nice and it's very wearable. It's a fresh, clean, peppery ginger and woods fragrance. Now we're in full winter mode and I need fragrances that can cut through that cold winter air. But this one's more of an upgraded office scent. This opens with a sharp, energizing punch of zesty grapefruit and fresh ginger that feels bright and spicy. The mid has a floral sweetness. It settles into a masculine base of dry cedar wood and vetiver that smells professional and polished. So this gets extra credit for resurrecting a dead fragrance DNA. This has a really enjoyable dry down and it might be higher on the list if I made this list in the dead of summer. All that being said, I'm still going to be wearing this fragrance. And don't worry, Armaf is going to be redeeming themselves in a big way coming up on this list. And at number 8, we have Lattafa's Sur Mesure Noir. And this is a clone of Amouage Outlands. So amber-based fragrances are generally not my favorite, but this one is bold and I appreciate what Lattafa has done here. So this is a spicy, woody fragrance. And actually the opening, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Dr. Pepper, which is kind of interesting. I mean, this is not a carbon copy of other Amouage Outlands clones that I've smelled. So Sur Mesure translates to custom made. And Lattafa says the bottle is supposed to look like a copper still. But I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to spray this or hang it on my Christmas tree. Now this one scores points because it's bold, it's unique, and it won't be that mass appealing. And those are just the kind of fragrances I like. Off the top, there's a spicy citrus blend of bergamot, warm cinnamon, nutmeg, and a hint of heat from pimento berries. The mid is smoothed out by a fresh lavender. The dry down is a deep, masculine base of earthy patchouli and vetiver wrapped in the smooth, creamy warmth of sandalwood and amber. It's an interesting fragrance, but for me, it's still near the bottom of the list. Don't rush out and buy this one unless you've sampled it or you know what you're getting. Now I don't really want to talk too much about performance because all of these fragrances are brand new to me and I haven't had the chance to fully test them. But I will say that this one seems like it's probably going to be one of the stronger performers. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a really strong list. So all the fragrances going forward are really good. And I think you might be really surprised at what fragrance ends up in first place on this list. And in 7th place, we have Zimaya's Reverie Aqua. And believe it or not, I ordered this back in October and I just got it. And this is a clone of Valentino's Born in Roma Intense. And that is a fragrance that I absolutely love. And this is so close to the original fragrance and it smells so good, you might ask, why is it so low on the list? Because I have Born in Roma Intense, and it's not a new fragrance. As a direct clone, this lacks a little bit of originality for me. Now, if you don't own Born in Roma Intense, then this should be near the top of your list, because this is a top-tier clone of an excellent fragrance. This is a gorgeous, sweet, spicy lavender and vanilla fragrance. It's a very well done clone, and I really enjoy wearing it, but as I said, it's a bit redundant in my collection. It starts with a bold, energizing burst of cardamom, cinnamon, and basil. As it settles, it reveals a smooth, masculine center featuring a calming lavender, creamy vanilla, and a distinct note of roasted chestnut. The dry down is smooth and deep, consisting of vetiver, amber, musk, and labdanum. So to recap, this is a very well done clone. If I didn't own the original and I hadn't smelled it a million times, it might be higher on my list. But I would say if you don't own the original, then you definitely should check out these two because the scent profile is fantastic and definitely worth having in your collection. And coming in 6th place, we have Rayhaan's Jungle Vibe. And my expectations were very low for this, and it kind of caught me off guard because it turned out to be good. Like really good. So apparently this is inspired by Dry Van Notten's Greenery Sandalwood. So Jungle Vibe smells just as good as the last fragrance we talked about. The difference for me is that this one gets points for uniqueness. I've never smelled anything like this before, and discoveries like these are what make this hobby exciting. For the more intelligent members of my audience, this smells botanical and verdant. Wow! And for the rest of us, pretty much smells like the Jolly Green Giant's bathwater. Ew! It's green and leafy, like a freshly tossed salad. And it's the only way you're gonna get that much greenery in your life without actually eating a vegetable. This smells like the inside of the Jolly Green Giant's toga after a long day guarding the valley. It's earthy, it's leafy, and like the JGG, it smells like forest royalty. This opens with a zesty and energetic burst of bergamot and grapefruit. In the mid, a crushed leaf freshness dominated by fig and violet leaf provides a dewy vegetal depth. In the base, a smooth finish of sandalwood, white musk, and patchouli give it a refined and creamy dry down. So if you're one of those people that drinks $25 green smoothies, well, you're crazy for that. But this has that same kind of green energy. Rayhaan has been killing it with their recent releases, and this is another good one. And excuse the shameless self-promotion. I've been putting my logo on t-shirts and sweatshirts lately just to test it out. At number 5, let's talk about Lattafa Nebras Elixir. And this is an original fragrance, meaning it's not a clone of anything, but it is a flanker to the original Lattafa Nebras. And from here on out, wearability and originality start to matter even more. So this is a creamy, smooth, gourmand vanilla fragrance. And I initially had this ranked a little bit low. When you first spray this on, you do get a very strong alcohol blast, and that's pretty much a no-go for me. The original Nebras had this problem too. And this one also smells a little bit like a candle in the opening, like the original Nebras. Because of the milky vanilla and the alcohol in the opening, to me this smells a little bit like a White Russian, the drink. Now the reason I moved this one up on the list a little bit is because it's an original creation, which I appreciate. And also because once you get past that sort of opening, the dry down on this is ridiculously good. It's rich, it's smooth, and very addictive. The opening salvo is a dominant milk candy and whipped cream accord that some compare to a white chocolate candy bar. The middle is a sweet, slightly powdery blend of sugarcane and heliotrope. The coup de grace is a cozy, smooth dry down of vanilla, musk, and ambroxan. So this is a likable fragrance, and it's an improvement upon the original Nebras. Now some are going to complain that it's too feminine, but to me that's like saying that Keanu Reeves is too feminine because he has long hair. I mean, have you seen John Wick? And coming in 4th place, we have Orientica's Amber Noir. And this is a clone of Le Labo's Santal 33. Now I've never been the biggest fan of Santal 33, so I wasn't really looking for a clone of it. So I came across this fragrance last week on a trip to Houston. I saw it in the store and I tested it and I was blown away by how much I liked it. And by the way, about half of the fragrances on this list came from that same store. And this one smells rich and luxurious. Some describe the scent as smelling like a high-end hotel lobby. It's a clean sandalwood fragrance with a bit of a green undertone. Now my first thought was, this is so enjoyable that maybe I need to revisit the original Santal 33 fragrance. But if my first impression is correct, this has equaled or surpassed the original fragrance. Have you guys tried this one? Let me know what you think. With the first spray, you get a unique mix of fig and carrot, which provides a crisp, slightly sweet and earthy freshness. As it begins to dry, a soft, clean floral touch of lily of the valley smooths out the transition to the woods. But the star of the fragrance is the base of creamy sandalwood and cedarwood, supported by a clean musk. So this is a very high quality fragrance, and Orientica has toned down that dill pickle note that so many people complain about in Santal 33. Now this is going to be best for evenings and cooler weather when you want something that feels really upscale. Now this is not a brand new release, but it's new to me, and I really haven't heard many people talking about this one. This is an excellent fragrance, and I highly recommend you try to smell it. And number 3 is Bharara Viking Beirut. This is an original fragrance, but you can smell the Bleu de Chanel inspiration. This is a fresh citrus and salty sea air. Think like an Aqua de Jo with an earthy woods dry down. This stuff is potent and it's bold and it jumps off your skin. While Bleu de Chanel is beautiful and fresh, this is masculine and bold. Imagine a Viking wearing Bleu de Chanel. That gives you an approximation of what this fragrance is about. In the opening, there's a sharp, zesty burst of lemon and bergamot mixed with galbanum. It transitions into a salty or ozonic profile that mimics fresh sea air, balanced by herbal clary sage and a slightly floral geranium. The dry down is heavy and grounded, featuring earthy patchouli, smoky vetiver, and a mossy, woody finish that lingers for 8 to 12 hours. And the presentation on this is top notch. It comes in this really nice blue bottle with a Viking helmet on top, and then it has like this captain's wheel on the front that spins. And the box is really nice too. It's felt lined, as you can see, the bottle nests inside there. And it comes with this little travel atomizer that you basically can press down on top of the bottle and it refills this. So if you like blue fragrances that are loud and attention grabbing, this one might be for you. I've really been enjoying this one. Coming in second place, we have Lattafa's Asad Elixir. And you know what this is a clone of? It's a clone of Boss Bottled Absolute. This is a powerful, sweet, spicy vanilla fragrance with smoky patchouli. This one smells so good. And it's actually smoother and easier to wear than the original fragrance because they've made it a little bit sweeter and they've toned down some of that smoky, earthy patchouli. And this just works. Wearing it side by side with the original, I mean, the quality is nearly equal. And this one's a lot cheaper. I waited a long time to get this fragrance, and in the end, I was not disappointed. This opens with a vibrant burst of pink pepper, saffron, and a bright zesty hint of grapefruit. As the initial spice settles, a rich smoky core of tobacco and cedarwood emerges. The base has earthy patchouli, smooth cashmere, and a prominent frankincense blend with a warm, dry amber, creating a mysterious depth. So I think many people would rank this fragrance number 1 on this list. And on any other list, this one might be number 1. But this list has something truly special in first place. And remember, I said I'm giving extra consideration for original fragrances. And first place in this list goes to Armaf X Christian Provenzano 1. This is an original creation, and it's a fruity, sweet leather fragrance. And this one feels the most polished to me. The quality is insane, and it's incredibly smooth and wearable. So in November, I went to Scent Explorer in New York City, and Armaf had a booth there with all their new releases. And when I smelled this one, I was blown away. I immediately placed an order with Joma Shop. And as the name implies, the perfumer on this is Christian Provenzano. And he's made fragrances for all of your favorite houses. He's done work with Amouage. In fact, he's also the perfumer who created Penhaligon's Halfeti, which is one of my favorites. So I actually had the opportunity to meet Christian Provenzano in New York City at Scent Explorer while I was sampling his fragrances. He's a really great guy, and if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge fan of his work. I asked for his permission to put this picture in my video. I told him, don't worry, no one watches my channel anyways. This starts with a warm exotic blend of rose and saffron, which creates an immediate sense of elegance. As it develops, a luxurious leather note emerges, softened by fruity accords to add character without being overly sweet. In the dry down, the scent settles into a powerful, masculine finish of deep leather and woody accords. This fragrance checks all the boxes for me. It's a beautiful scent profile, it's extremely high quality, and it smells like it should cost way more than it does. And that's why it took first place in this list. Definitely try to sample this if you can. It's now one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection. Yeah, it's that good. And just for clarification, this video is not sponsored by anybody. I paid for all these bottles myself at full price, and I paid for my own trip to Scent Explorer. So that's my ranking of these 10 brand new clone fragrances. Do you agree with my rankings? If so, cool. If you don't, even better. Tell me why. Drop your rankings down in the comments. Let me know what you put at number 1. And if you've enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.